is that should be interesting for meatballs. Ricky's just collapsed on the floor. Let's just play a song, Carl. I don't think even you can top that.
Black rubber marks out of whatever happened to my rock and roll. Well, near the end of the show, just time for the re-education of Carl revisited. Still got Nick Cave to come, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Now, Carl, you read a quote book. What did you learn from it? Tell us some pearls of wisdom. Just keep it down to one or two, your favourite things and why you like them.
Right, well, you said just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Right? So I wrote a couple down last night. And what I did, so they weren't boring, right? I've sort of...
Don't think you can ever be boring,
No, but what I've done, I've took like different ones. So I've took a good one that I think, that's a good quote, that was worth putting in a book. I put one that isn't really a quote, so I don't understand it.
Oh, yeah.
One that isn't clever. and a funny one. So a bit of variation all out of one book.
Oh, how long did this take you? What did you do? Did you sort of like sit?
About half an hour last night.
And did you sit sort of like quietly at a desk or something?
No, just in the lounge with the telly turned down.
Oh, right.
Just to give a bit of light to the room. Just had it on but turned down.
Have you figured out lights yet?
So, so the first one, never heard of him. This guy called Dean Axon.
Right.
And this is a good one. He said, the memo is written not to inform the reader, but to protect the writer.
That's good, stuff, that's very good.
That's
It relates a lot to, office life and so on.
Yeah, modern world and that. Right, so then, thought, so I wrote that down because I liked it, and that's what he said to do. Second one, isn't really a quote, it's more of a poem.
Okay.
So how does that work?
Well, that's okay.
Just read it.
Right, well, it's about suicide.
Okay.
Right? Razors pain you, rivers are damp, acids stain you, drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful, nooses give, gas smells awful, so you might as well live.
Lovely.
That's from Dorothy Parker.
I tell you what.
It is, yeah.
I hate it. I hate that.
Why?
It's nothing to me, that.
I think
it's just a weak, shallow piece of mock comedy.
This is why I did it in that order, because that's what I thought.
It's sort of like a zany vicar would write from living in Frome when he's about 55 and get it published in the... I hate it.
Alright, so you're saying you're not a fan of Dorothy Parker's work, right?
Right.
Now the next one, Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
Right, he's known, isn't he?
Yes.
Look what he comes up with. All art is quite useless.
Well, that's... What's up with that?
Well, it isn't added art.
No, but it's... Go on, next.
But how has art helped you? How has it been useful to you?
It was a bit of a... It's one of the only things I like doing at school.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When I made that little clay man, fixing a car.
Yeah.
You made a clay man fixing a car, I forgot about that.
How can he... I think that's stupid. And especially that it's gone in a book.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's easy to diss things.
Yeah, it's harder to write. Exactly right.
I don't think art is useless, by the way. But you don't have to agree or disagree with some of these things. Some of them are, sometimes it's just their thoughts put eloquently or poetically, isn't it? And it's just,
just to provoke a reaction as much as anything.
Yeah.
And the good one, Ozzy Osbourne.
I mean, sorry, but just go back there. The irony is that is art. That he was an artist, wasn't he? So.
But okay, so you don't like Oscar Wilde, but you prefer Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, go on.
Ozzy Osbourne, cracking one this. Funny and educational. I bit a head off a bat the other night. It was like eating a crunchy wrapped in a chamois leather.
Genius. You're right, Carl.
Yeah.
So,
what do you like about that? The way he's described what it is like?
I think, if someone... I mean, you can imagine what it's like. Because I like crunchies.
Yeah.
And, and a chamois leather's really chewy, so you can imagine that's like the skin.
So you like his descriptive writing?
The crunchy bit is like the bones and that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But Carl, it's interesting because you've analysed Ozzy there, and in a way, that is the first step on maybe doing a new English GCSE.
Yeah,
you
said why you liked it. You said because it describes you've never eaten about yourself.
Yeah, but my teacher, Mrs. Kane, if I would have come into school with, a quote by Ozzy Osbourne, she wouldn't have been happy.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference between...
She'd go, right, Carl, get your horse and go home.
Well, listen though, we were talking about other quotes.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Do you know his one?
Yeah.
What, one giant leap for mankind?
Do you know it wasn't meant to be that? It says, it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right?
Yep.
it was meant to be, this is one small step for a man,
Right.
i.e.
Yes.
me the individual, on a microcosmic level, one giant leap for mankind. And he mucked it up, because if you say, this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, man there means mankind.
I know, it's embarrassing.
So you shouldn't give people, he's not a trained actor.
That's true.
He's more of an astronaut, to be
Has he
honest.
won any awards,
No, there are no awards. Is he BAFTA nominated? Don't think so.
But listen, right, he said another quote as he got back into the rocket. Have you heard about it?
Go on.
Well, we're running out of time, and I'm just wondering whether it's worth saving as a bit of a teaser for next week.
What did Neil Armstrong say as he got back into the rocket?
Yeah.
Is it going to
Shots
be
away.
something like, that was boring, wasn't it? The mic's not still on, is it?
Yeah.
They're not still listening.
That's what I was saying to you. He could have said that, and it would have
That's
still
not
gone down.
cheese.
It would have still gone down as an amazing quote, wouldn't it?
Well, listen, I think you should save it, Carl.
So I was meant to go
No,
first.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Carl. We'll squeeze it in before the end of the show, because Ricky, you got to play your song for the lovers.
Oh,
we should
this-
play this.
I don't think we'll fit it in. We might have to save it.
Don't worry, we'll see what we can do.
Well,
Let's
next
play,
week, by the way, you've got happiness quotations, a collection of thoughtful words and beautiful paintings. I'll just give you an example of one. Happiness is a perfume you can pour on others you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. It's lovely that, isn't it?
Brilliant.
You can't be happy with that.
Okay,
This is
real
Nick
quick.
Cave and the Bad Seed, from the Boatman's Call. It's a beautiful song. Any song that starts off, I don't believe in an interventionist God, is alright by me. And this is Into My Arms. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Into My Arms. Well, that's it. We've run out of time.
We have indeed.
So no time for Carl's quote. That'll have to come next week.
Yeah, we'll save that for next
Neil
time.
Armstrong. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Alright, Rick, come on, I'm sounding a bit chirpier. It's not that depressing.
Well, yeah.
Sports next. You know how excited you are?
Go on.
You love the sport, do you?
New Order and Here to Stay on XFM 104.9. Well, we're here to stay, aren't we, Steve?
True enough.
Well, for another 4 weeks anyway. Then we're off. Then
That's
4 more
right.
shows. They'll have to order a new DJ. Alright?
That was genius.
Hey?
Oh, wow,
I'm
it's
Ricky-
as simple as that.
I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Mitchell, and
Oh.
Carl Pilkington.
Oh, man.
Did anyone read the Guardian yesterday? It was Steve's big. We were interviewed together.
I've
Steve-
never been interviewed before in the paper. I've certainly never had my photo in a national
We were very
paper
excited. We loved the interview. It was talking about our top 10 albums between us. We loved it. We talked really fast, like school kids. We were excited. It was a great interview, and all the way through, it was Ricky Gervais with his writing partner, Steve Mitchell.
Stephen Mitchell. It's
He
not
was
even
gutted.
Night Merchant.
He phoned me up the night before and he was gutted. I know, it's awful. And it was big letters and just all the way through, and the caption, and it's just like, oh, God.
But it's embarrassing, do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing because it's like I was trying to get in the paper, I couldn't believe my luck. And then that just draws attention to the fact that I'm not a celebrity, and consequently they can't even remember my name.
But the worst thing was that one of my favourite albums of all time, as I said in there, was Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And I said, because, you know, I think one of the most beautiful songs ever is If You See Her, Say Hello. And of course these people were sort of transcribing it from, you know, a dictaphone. It came out, my favourite song of all time was If You See a Sailor.
If you see a sailor. Oh, hello. Fruity.
Oh, Bob Drillboyd's up on the trab with where's the sailor gone to? With Ricky Gervais and Stephen Mitchellings. Oh,
I don't know. They must have thought my name was Mitchell all along. They obviously never knew.
The evidence is there.
But I don't know why. It was like they reported in the paper that we'd been nominated for a Sony, and it said Ricky Gervais, who hosts the breakfast show on XFM, and it's that sort of. It's just guessing. It's like presumably someone's gone. Does he host the breakfast show? And someone's gone, yeah, and that's their research done.
Yeah, but there was a thing about The Office set in Swindon. That's someone going, just write an article about The Office. Where's it set? Swindon, I think. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even we research the show now and again, don't we?
Yeah.
Even we look things up. Well, actually, people phone in. Usually
Yeah.
that fella. What's that fella's name that calls in who's not got the website? It's got a funny name. Gilwell or something.
James.
Phone in if you remember what his name is.
Yeah.
James at Lose Control.
Yeah, what's his surname though?
Oh, for goodness sake, this is just going to be interesting to him
Yeah.
and his friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You remember?
We better play another record.
Yes.
Come, I'll tell you what. If
Johnny
you like,
Mango.
Mango, that's it, yeah. Now, if you like Elvis Costello's Alison, or maybe Freeze, My Brother Jake,
One of my favourites.
stay tuned. Badly Drawn Boy, Silent Sigh,
Cracking tune.
XFM 104.9. Maybe there'll be a few silent sighs around London on the 4th of May when, that's it, we're off the air for
We are
3
indeed.
months.
Yeah. Wow, you're really getting into the DJ patter today.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Slick
It's only
beats.
taken, what is it, 5 years?
Yeah.
Now you're finally as good as Foxy.
Coming up,
Yes.
that anecdote that Carl didn't get to last week about Neil Armstrong.
Right.
I can't wait. It's because he took 3 links telling us about the horse.
Yes, of course. Of
The
course.
horse. Think of
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
I went out with Carl on Thursday night.
Right.
Right, it was one of the most enjoyable nights. We just went out for about 5 or 6 pints, a little crawl, and adventures happened around Carl.
Yeah.
And just me sitting talking to him was just incredible. I'm thinking that a competition would be win a pint with Carl.
Yes. That would be a hell
They
of a
just
gift.
have to go for a pint, and they can ask him anything they want.
Yeah.
He's just great. We met my friend, didn't we? Tell him all about that. Yeah. What?
Did you enjoy it as much as Ricky, Carl?
Yeah, there was things I learned as well, like, which was good.
Okay.
You know his mate Robin, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
You'll discuss that later.
I'll tell you later.
He's
about-
got all his near-death experiences to come. Win a pint, and of course coming up, Carl's homework was the quotes, and Carl's come up with a great idea to show that anyone can do quotes. He's invented a thing like faking it, where he's got 2 real quotes,
Right.
and he's made one up.
Okay.
And he's going to fool us. I bet we won't be having it.
Brilliant. So what was the challenge last
Look at him looking at us. What's the matter with you?
It's just that before you were like, no, this is good for you, but
What?
now it's turned into a game.
at your expense?
Yeah.
Have you only just, it only just dawned on you?
Carl, well, I'm joking. It's great, honestly. It's really good.
What was the Carl challenge last week? You said I thought we did the quotes last week.
No, but I gave him a book on
Happiness.
happiness. It's all about happiness
Right.
and what the pursuit of happiness, and it's in sort of like quote form and everything. But Carl's gonna do a couple of ones and faking it just to show. I mean, because he's been coming up with fables all week as well. Now he comes up with something, he goes, "That's a fable," isn't it? And he tells me so he's getting good. Now,
To it all. Should we play another track? Or have you got something? You got something
I
fresh?
brought in I saw Elvis Costello and Jonathan Ross a couple of weeks ago, and he did just an acoustic version of Alison, and I forgot what an amazing song it is, and it's just he's fantastic. He's the man. Listen to this guitar sound. It's so beautiful. My aim is true. To provide quality entertainment of a Saturday. That was
classic.
Elvis Costello and his attractions, and Alison on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Mitchell here and Carl Pilkington.
Oh,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's going all right. It's going all right. I obviously been doing some acting, as you know. I mentioned it last week, doing this this sort of comedy pilot. This week, Carl, you're going to be loving this. I've been doing stunts. I swear to God, I've been doing my own stunts with the guy that once made Christopher Reeve fly as Superman, right? And I was doing stunts. I had to do a thing where my character has to commit. Were you anywhere near that horse? No? Fine, let's carry on. And my character has to commit suicide, and he has to sort of leap off a building. So the
Don't
first
think
shot,
that's for something for comedy.
well, we were up on a roof, and obviously they had the crash mats and stuff, and I had to kind of leap off and land on the mats and stuff. And obviously I was petrified the whole time because I was wearing my glasses. Petrified that they might get broken. So I was like not really doing it properly, kind of leaping like what you know people who when they can't dive into a swimming pool, and so they put that one foot out first to sort of break their fall.
Was it you that told me that you could never get into fights?
No, I can never get into fights or go in a mosh pit because of my glasses. I've missed out in life because I can't. Because if I was in a fight and I say, "Come on, then you are," you know, and I was in a pub or something, they just have to whiff off my glasses, just knock them off. I'm done for. I got
You're
nothing.
really bad short-sighted, are you?
Yeah, but anything's an advantage in a fight, isn't it? And the fact that they're just a blur is bound to hamper my otherwise brilliant, ninja skills. So yeah, I've never got into a fight. I've never been in a fight at all. I've never, as I say, been in a mosh pit.
on the wire.
So this was making me sort of a bit worried. And anyway, so then I think, well, fine, I've done my stunt, and I did it, and everyone clapped. They were pleased with it, and the guy said I was very good. So then they drive us to the next location, right? I'm thinking I've done my stunts now. There's a crane. I think, what's going on here? Now they need to shoot me. Like, I've already done the stunt where I've sort of leapt off the building. Now they've got to actually see me falling, right? So I have to get strapped in with this huge belt, and they clip wires onto me, and they hoist me about 30, 40 foot into the air on this wire, and I have to, and then they drop me at great speed, and I have to scream and shout. It was partly acting.
Glasses on?
Glasses, by this time I'd managed to get some wire fixed to my glasses so they wouldn't come off my head. I assured
They were stunt glasses.
They were
doing their own
sunglasses.
stunts.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So they hoist me into there on this thing. They do a couple of sort of demo versions, and just to gradually ease me up higher and higher, so I kind of become acclimatized to it. And they get about 30 feet up, and they got these huge crash mats, like those great big ones you always see because stunt people have. And they set up the camera and stuff down below, and while I'm up in the air dangling there, they remove those crash mats, and they replace them with those really thin ones that you always see, like, teenage gymnasts using on Blue Peter. Do you know what I mean? The really thin ones they used to have at school, right? And I'm looking down at this, and I'm thinking, now, they may as well have shouted up, if you fall, you're done for, but we might be able to protect the equipment. Do you know what I mean? It was so rubbish.
But you weren't going to land on the floor, presumably.
Well, the idea was that the wire would stop that.
Oh, I see. But there was no that was their safety.
That was the safety net.
Why did they not leave the real ones in?
Because they had to. I don't know, for the shot and stuff. They had to. They had to be able to do it. But anyway, what was particularly joyful is one of the other actors pointed this out. Right, this is the this is the health and safety statement from the stunt guys, right? And they obviously have to write up this health and safety statement about how they do it. And it says, we confirm that we have proper safety policies, procedures to comply with the Health and Safety Act 1974, and that we will not do anything which compromises the health, safety and welfare of your production crew, actors or members of the public. If the above situation changes, we'll advise you immediately. I mean, if they think that maybe they do want to hurt members of the public, look at that fat one over there, just try and hit her and bring him down.
Don't worry about that one. Don't worry. She can take it. She can take it.
But, so that reassured me, obviously, and, now my whole body's racked with pain. Limbs, arms, head, neck, unbelievable.
Well, is the shot worth having?
You wish you
know what the cameraman whispered to me? The cameraman whispered to me, he'd probably never use it.
Yeah, Steve, you'll wish you hadn't told that wimpy tale when you hear just three random tales of near-death experiences that Carl told me.
Right.
Coming up. I mean, honestly.
Really?
At least you had stunt people and crash mats.
Yeah, you got paid.
Yeah. The things that he got up to, just through stupidity,
well,
will put you what? What one of them wasn't through stupidity?
Cakes.
I'm already excited.
The cake one?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
So you had a near-death experience involving a cake?
Hold on, I've got three. I've got the paper round, the nicking slate, and the Mr. Freeze. What's the cake one?
Yeah, I suppose. Look at the cream cake.
Oh! Yeah.
Right, now you're talking in riddles. Can we have these next?
Yeah, play record. Cooper Temple Claws. Who needs enemies? Good question, lads. Nobody. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Oh, they should print a little book of those. They're great. Oh, how you can relate any song or artist to anything else.
Easy.
Joyful.
Easy. Well, yeah, so, me and Carl went out, for a beer, and it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We started off,
good.
and you met my mate Robin, didn't you?
Yeah.
And some of the stories. Do you want to tell Steve some things about Robin that you
Robin.
know?
Do you know him well?
Yes.
Well, do you know about his worm problem as a kid?
Go on.
Right. What I can remember is he had worms as a kid. Not sure how you get him. He never answered me. He was getting a bit touchy about it.
Right.
This is like the second time I met him. I think he was a bit annoyed that Ricky told me about his problem.
What now straight away, you not being there, instinctively, what do you think went on with this story about worms?
My suspicion is rather like when you told a group of people that Robin had once suckled milk from a cow's udder.
Yeah.
Did he mention that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. My suspicion is that, like the cow story, the worm story is not true.
But
And
why would he get so sort of uppity about it?
Well,
Because it's not true.
imagine if that wasn't the first time he'd done it. Imagine if he did that every single time he was with somebody for the first time and Robin was just met them. He will tell that story to anyone.
But they do say there's no smoke without fire.
Oh, Robin! I also told him...
That's a fable.
I also told him that the way Robin cured these worms was because the doctor told his mother, right, to hold a piece of ham or cheese near Robin's anus so the worms would come out for the food, and he believed it.
I'll tell you why, though.
I said to Robin used to sit on Spam to try and get the worms out, and he believed it.
But Steve, right, do you remember that story about 3 or 4 years ago where there was some bloke in the army? He went away to somewhere, Vietnam or whatever. He was messing about in the woods.
Messing about in the woods? Shouldn't he have been fighting?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and he walked through some lake, and I think he'd cut his toe or something on something, and some worm of some sort crawled in the gash.
Yeah.
And it was in his body, and the doctor said, we've got to get this out of your body. So what they did was, they said, right, the thinnest part or something of your body that things can crawl through is on the top of your head. So they wrapped
Where the skull is.
So they wrapped some bacon.
No, they didn't!
It did.
Ah!
That's
All
the
right.
thing.
So
Everyone.
it's gone in by the toe.